everybody, happy Friday. It is time for my Friday Read selection where I talk about books. So today we are talking about 1-2-C by Bob Lee. There you go, right there. This book was loaned to me by a friend. She knows the author and she loaned it to me so that I could read it. And I love supporting indie authors because I am one. It is very hard to be a self-published author. One of the hardest things is marketing. So any chance I get to read another indie author's work and to blast that information out to the world so that maybe somebody else can see it, maybe somebody else can enjoy it, I love to take that opportunity. I gave this book an overall 3-star rating. Not because I didn't like it. I think 3 is very good. I think on average, that's what we all, as authors, we want to be 3-star or above. Anything below that, and I probably wouldn't have even posted this review. I really did enjoy the story, which I gave a 4-star review to just the story, and I gave a 4-star review for the characters. It was the writing and the overall appearance of the book that each got a 2-star rating, which brought it down to an average of 3-star. So, if you want more information on that, check out my blog review, which is posted in the descriptions below. Okay, let me read the back of this story for you. So, this is 1-2-C by Bob Lee. Counting enables Andrew Strong to see the future. He has to be careful, though, as changing the future can get people killed. He decides to ask a psychiatrist for help, but has to save his life first and convince him that his abilities are real. Even with help, it's hard to stop a kidnapping and break up a Miami street racing gang while you're falling in love. Okay, intriguing, right? I thought so. So, I loved the story. I think the story had a lot of potential. There is just so much action going on. You've got these street racers, you've got this kid that can, not kid, he's in his 20s, 20-somethings, that can see the future when he counts. There's great backstory in there. You get to know the characters very, very well. I probably wouldn't have picked up this book if I just saw it in a bookstore. The fact that it's not available in the bookstores or anywhere that I could find online, it did take me a long time to actually find it on Goodreads and to find it on Amazon because it was listed under a different name. So 1-2-C was listed, instead of words spelled out, it was listed with the numbers 1, 2, then C. So it did take me a while to find it. I could not find the author online until I finally found the book. But if I did see this in the bookstore, I probably wouldn't have bought it simply because the cover was not very eye-catchy to me. But I'll get to the cover later. So the story, the first grammar error that I found was on the back cover, which would have also been another reason that I probably wouldn't have bought it even if I did pick it up. Not a great sign. However, my friend loaned it to me and she said she loved the story, and I love supporting indie authors, so I read it. And because she said she loved the story, I continued to read it even after I continued to see grammar issues. I won't lie, the story is intriguing. The author is able to just weave together a number of small plots very well. He brings the characters together at just the right moments in time, at just the right moments in the stories, and he just ties them all really well into the main story in a pretty seamless way, which is awesome. Once I got into the story, once I actually kind of closed my eyes to the editing issues, I was fully invested in knowing what was going to happen and how it was all going to end. So that was pretty awesome. Andrew's ability to count and see the future was exciting and different and sometimes daunting at the same times because it happened the same way, and we got a lot of the same similar small scenes throughout that kind of got a little like, what? Why are we doing this again? But it all makes sense in the end. There were times when the story seemed to drag on a little bit, giving a bit too much exposition. However, in the end, again, it all tied together, and as a reader, I was thankful for all of that all the extra scenes that he plugged into the story that at the time when you read them, you didn't think they were necessary. but at the end, it made sense. And I know that seems cryptic, and I'm sorry about that, but I don't want to give too much away. And I think for this story, just for the story alone, the book is worth purchasing. The book is worth reading. You just have to be prepared to ignore the grammar issues. So that takes me to writing. As an indie author, you do all the work. You are the one that has to either hire a cover artist or do the cover yourself. You are the one that has to write the book, edit the book, publish the book, market the book. And with this one, I feel like where it failed was, one, the cover. It's not very eye-catchy. There is another cover, and the one that is on Amazon is even worse. And I have posted that one in my blog review. So definitely this one is much better. This is a great, great cover compared to the other one, which looks like a child cut out pictures and used glue and created it. I think that this one is definitely better. But beyond that, one of the most important things that you can do for your book as an author is get it edited. And this one, I double-checked the copyright page. There is no editor listed. So I am fairly certain that this book was edited by the author alone. And there are a lot of issues in this book. There are a lot of grammar issues and just context issues, but I think the one that stood out to me the most and really bothered me the most is the use of the word course. So we say it all the time, of course, of course, of course. It was used multiple times in this book, which is fine. That's not a problem. People say of course all the time, but instead of using the proper course, C-O-U-R-S-E, the author used the incorrect course, C-O-A-R-S-E. So of course spelt C-O-U-R-S-E has many different meanings. Like saying, of course, I get it, of course I do. Or a course, like a pathway, or a course to mean, a trail, or, a course that you take in school. That would be that spelling. And then the word coarse, C-O-A-R-S-E, means rough in texture or crude. So you might use that in the sentence, this shirt is really coarse and it makes my skin itch. But he was using that word in place of course, and my eye caught it every time and it pulled me out of the story. So if you are prepared for that, if you are prepared to know that yes, there are some missing words, there are some misused words, there are some misspellings, and then just grammar issues, commas and all of that stuff. If you can avoid all of that, if you can set your mind to the point where don't look at those things and just read the story, then I think you will really enjoy it, because the story is actually very good. The editing needs work. My recommendation to the author is to get this book re-edited, to actually pay an editor and get it edited, and then republish it under a new cover. Because I think that you need a cover that is more eye-catchy and speaks to the story. And I think if you pay a professional designer, you will get a really good cover, because there's so much happening in this book and it's awesome. But you have to re-edit first. So definitely get a new cover, get it edited, because it's a great story, and I really do think you could sell it and do well with it if it was better, if the editing was done better. All right, that is my opinion. Definitely a great story, definitely one to read. Just be prepared for the editing issues. All right, 1-2-C by Bob Lee. All right, everybody, if you have not already subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe right here. Check out my latest videos here. If you always want to be alerted as soon as I upload a video, click on that little bell below. If you have read 1-2-C, comment below and let me know what you thought. All right, everybody, until next time, happy reading.